Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to show you the game of the century. So the game of the century is a chess game that was won by the 13-year-old future world champion Bobby Fischer against Donald Bryne in the Rosenworld Memorial Tournament at the Marshall Chess Club in New York City on October 17, 1956. So it was called the Game of the Century because this game is a stunning masterpiece of combination play performed by a boy of 13 against a formidable opponent. It matches the finest on record in the history of the chess prodigies. So here Bryne was white. He started with knight to f3, the ready opening. And here Fischer played knight to f6, just the normal line. Now here Bryne played c4 and Fischer just played g6, trying to develop fianchetto his bishop to g7. Here Bryne played knight to c3. Now he's developing pieces and then he can play d4 and bishop will move like this. And Fischer here played bishop to g7. He fianchettos his bishop to g7. Now here Bryne played a d4. He just immediately took the center. And Fischer just castled kingside here. Here Bryne again developed his bishop now to f4. And Fischer blast open the center with d5. Here Bryne played queen to b3 trying to take this pawn on d5 and he will emerge as a pawn up. So Fischer did not want this, so he played d into c4. And queen into c4, the most obvious response. Now Fischer just supported this c6 pawn, c7 pawn, he defended this pawn with c6. Now here Bryne played e4. Now Bryne has the center, the full control of the center, but Fischer develops his knight now to d7, knight b to d7. And Bryne is telling that I will attack with rook to d1. And Fischer just attacked this queen on c4 with knight to b6. Now this queen moved to c5, but the best move here was to play queen to b3. Anyways, Bryne here played queen to c5. And here Bobby Fischer played bishop to g4. Now he has developed all his pieces and has castle 2. And black has a slight edge in this position. And here Bryne played a blunder. It's bishop to g5. He's probably trying to play e5 and then bishop into e7. But here Fischer played a brilliant move. Can you find it? Yes, it is knight to a4. Now this queen is under attack as well as this knight is under attack. So let's see what happens if white captures this knight into a4. Then black would play knight into e4. Now this bishop will take this pawn on e7 with bishop into e7. And now black will play knight into c5, bishop into d8, and here bishop into f3, g into f3, the doubled pawn. Now here rook to e8 check. Now this king has to move to d2 and then there is knight into a4 and this position is much better for black to play. So here Bryne played queen to a3. Just he defended this queen. And now they exchange knight into c3, b into c3, and knight into e4. Another brilliant move played by Bobby Fischer. He has just sacrificed his e7 pawn. And Bryne immediately took this with bishop into e7 and Fischer played queen to b6. An interesting idea now. He has sacrificed his rook now also. If white takes this rook with bishop into f8, then there is bishop into f8, queen is under attack, queen moves to b3, and then knight into c3. If queen into c3, then bishop to b4, this queen is gone. And if queen into b6, then a into b6, rook a1, bishop b4. And black will start attacking very much to the king, and it will be better for black. So here Bryne understood this plan and played bishop to c4. He also developed his bishop now. And here Bobby Fischer played another excellent move. Can you find it? Yes, it's knight into c3. Excellent move. Now queen into c3 can't, white can't take it because rook a e8 and this bishop is gone now. So here white first supported this bishop, moved his bishop, you can tell, to c5. He has also attacked this queen. Now black plays another brilliant move, rook f to e8 check. This king has to go to f1, or if he goes to d2 there will be much attacking ideas. The king will be in the center and black will easily win this game. So king to f1. So here Fischer played an excellent move. Can you find it? Yes, it starts with a queen sacrifice. Bishop to e6. Now Bryne will be thinking that why he sacrificed his queen, and he immediately took it with bishop into b6. Now bishop into e6 can't occur because queen to b5 check, bishop c4, queen into c4, king g1, knight e2, king f1, knight g3 check, king to g1, f1 check, rook into f1, and knight e2 is a smothered mate. So Bryne has to play bishop into b6, and here Fischer took this bishop with bishop into c4 check. King has to go to e1, g1, and here knight to e2 check. King moves to e f1 and knight into d4 check. King again has to move to g1 and knight e2 check again. The windmill tactics. Now this king moves to f1 and knight to c3 check. This rook on d1 is under attack now. And this king has to go again to g1. And here Fischer played a into b6. Now this queen is under attack. He doesn't take this rook on d1 as he can take it anytime. So here Fischer played a into b6. This queen is under attack. So Bryne played queen to b4. He attacked this both the pieces with this queen. And here Fischer attacked this queen now with rook to f4, and this bishop is also now supported. Now Bryne has no option rather than to take this pawn on b6, queen into b6, and then knight into d1. Now black has one rook and two minor pieces for the queen. It is better for black because this black has much more pieces than white, and white's alone queen can't save the game, and all the black's pieces are inactive. So here Bryne played h3, making space for the king to move to h2 and g3, and then he can escape like that. But Fischer here played rook into a2. Now another pawn is gone for white now. Now this king has moved to h2 and then knight into f2. And see here, black has enormous advantage here because he has many pawns instead of the queen, and he also has the two minor pieces and the rook. It must be better for black. Here Brian thought of exchange. He played rook to e1 and rook into e1, queen to d8 check. He played an intermediate move here in this position, and Fischer has only one move to play. It's bishop to f8 and knight into e1 and bishop to d5. Now Fischer is thinking of a knight will move to anywhere like d1 and like this, and then this g2 pawn will be under attack. So here Bryne played knight to f3, just stopping this bishop's diagonal. And here Fischer played knight to e4, trying ideas like knight to d2 exchange or knight to g4, some tactical ideas like this. And here Bryne played queen to b8. Now this b7 pawn is under attack. And here Fischer played the obvious move b5. Now he's trying to promote his pawns. And here Bryne thought of any counterplay with h4. But Fischer told that no counterplay can be used here. h5. He has he has better position now and white has no counterplays in this position. And his knight has moved to e5 now with ideas like knight to d7 and this bishop will be gone. But Fischer doesn't get into this trap and he's played king to g7. Now black's idea is to play bishop to d6 and this queen and knight will be under attack and black will be winning this position. But here Bryne played king to g1, a blunder. And here comes a mate in 6 played by Bobby Fischer. Bishop to c5 check. Now this king has to move to f1 and now there is a mate in 5. Can you find it? Yes, it is knight to g3 check. King has to move to e1. Now bishop to b4 check. The king is forced to move to d1. Bishop to b3 check again. This king has to move to c1 and now knight e2 check. Now this king is again forced to move to b1. Knight c3 check. King c1 and here is a mate in 1. Black and mate white in any moves. Here Bobby Fischer played rook to c2 checkmate, but bishop to a3 is also a mate. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to my channel for more interesting videos. Thank you.